It's rolling. Obviously, we'll cut it.
That's a worry.
Yeah.
Tune into Is It Fast live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT. You are welcome.
Hi, I'm Daniel Rowbottom, racing the British Touring Car Championship with Team Dynamics, and you're watching Is It Fast?
Hi guys, it's Nick Hamilton, and you're watching Is It Fast?
It's 7 p.m. It's a Wednesday. Must be time for Is It Fast.
That's right. It is 7 p.m. It's a Wednesday, which means it must be time for Is It Fast, the weekly show from the team at Is It Fast, where we bring together all of our favourite subjects from the last 7 days from the world of motorsport, automotive, and basically anything that goes a little bit too quick for comfort. Today, I am joined by none other than Mr. Bradley Gravett. We've managed to strong arm an actual motorsport professional into coming on. No,
don't quite know about professional, Stu, but keep going.
We've managed to strong arm an actual human being outside of our direct circle, or someone that we pay to be around, to come onto the show and share his opinions of the last 7 days of what's been going on. And obviously he's going to share a little bit about what his 2022 might look like as well. Make sure that everybody is sat on their wallets, because a racing driver is around, which means money will be a-flowing. And of course, it's not just a fact that we've got Bradley here. The other guy has showed up as well. We have other Stu as well. Evening, mate. How are you?
Oh, so that's how it is. We get a motorsport racing star on the show, and now I am unceremoniously dumped down the bill just because he's the second best person to be in a Mini after Michael Bloody Kane. Aye, fair enough. Yeah. Please congratulate me on my new position. It's mostly the fetal position. I'll be in it for a while. But yes, I am other Stu. Welcome, Bradley. Brilliant to have you on the show again, mate. But Brad, it is worth remembering that the only thing worse than listening to a bad podcast is being on one. On that note, welcome to Is It Fast?
Thank you for having me once again. I think it's been how long now, Stu? Number one? 6 months?
I think he's talking to
long
me.
time.
Yeah, this is where the Stu thing gets confused. Yeah,
Number
it's been
one,
six.
number two.
I think it's been 6 months. I think you were on one of our very early live shows.
Yes.
You were also on one of our pre-recorded shows way back when, just before you
God,
started.
that was a very long time ago. That was before Racing Full Stop, I think.
Quite possibly.
I think that show was in black and white. Yeah.
To be fair, it was definitely a little while ago. But we have a lot to cover this week, and so rather than rest on Bradley's laurels, I think what we'll do is we'll plough straight.
You're tuned in to Is It Fast, and we're live, which is why it's so bad.
So, from a motorsport perspective, we would be remiss not to talk about how the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah popped along and basically slapped us right in the face. Not like a Will Smith did, of course. That's ridiculous.
Savage.
I mean, it's got to be topical. Saudi Arabia, F1 round 2, weekend 2 of the Formula 1. Forgot what it was called there. We had a lot go on. A lot of battles at the front, a lot of battles at the back. What did we think? Bradley, you're a professional.
Well, first off, I think it's incredible to see where Haas is, to be honest with you. I mean, like probably everybody that's watching this podcast right now, I have been watching Drive to Survive. I have binged it. And I'm actually a big supporter of that team. And to see Kevin Magnussen to be able to actually press Lewis, clearly the Mercedes are struggling. But nevertheless, to see some of those drivers up the front, that's incredible, I think. So I think the changes are really good. But yeah, I mean, I still think there's some things they need to sort out. DRS, for example.
What's wrong with DRS?
Still don't know how I feel about people just driving down people on the straight. I mean, fair play to Max. That was quite an incredible thing that he did on that. Was it penultimate lap or lap before that?
Yeah, it's
when he just hung back and that was smart. That was clever. But yeah, I don't know. Good racing though. Far better than it's been over the last couple of seasons for sure. 100%.
I agree.
I sense a but.
No, so we try not to get political and all the rest of it. Obviously, my issue with the fact that it's in that Stu's not necessarily agreeing. My issue with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is the fact that it is located in Saudi Arabia, which at the moment is probably not the best when you combine an alleged huge explosion
Yeah, that's
inches from the track. Probably not that great. That said, I think the circuit's great, if a little dangerous, and it made for some compelling viewing. It might also spell the end of Lewis Hamilton's career, Stu.
Yeah, entirely possible. It will do.
Drop that one.
It is a bit of a bombshell. Just to add on to a point, apparently Jada Pinkett Smith did not actually watch the Saudi Grand Prix, but that's her loss. Oh, shocking. Oh, I'm going to get absolutely slapped for that one. Thank you.
By who?
Probably Shu when he meets me later for kind of putting a medical joke into a podcast. Brilliant race, obviously, at the end. Great to see Verstappen and Leclerc battling it out. There was a good kind of last 5 laps there to say we've not seen that kind of level of excitement in a good while. Brad, you're absolutely correct there. I think done for Lewis Hamilton's a bit of a strong term. Very unsatisfactory end to last season, but he was too non-committal about staying on this year. Political social justice stance aside, or the performance of the car, he didn't want to be there this weekend.
Well, it was all a bit odd at the end of last season. I think the whole going quiet. I mean, that was a little bit cantankerous the way that season ended. Although I think both drivers last year were certainly able to win. They were both quick enough. And Lewis should have been penalised more, I think, for that shunt at Silverstone, which probably would have put him behind Max going into that final race more, I think.
There's a good chance he would have been further along the road, Verstappen, wouldn't he? You know, before it got to that last round that all, has been covered a million times at this stage.
Yeah.
But
did we not see some changes to the regulations where they're now saying, the FIA are saying, they're going to let the team sort it out themselves? Is that part of that, do you think? Or do we know that?
Yes, I think it's more they're just expecting the teams to sort it out, truth be told.
Is that the explosion on screen at the moment?
That is the fireball of the Aramco Petroleum. I think it was a refinery or something.
It's a tricky dynamic for Formula One because of the amount of money that they're
This is the thing. Obviously, there's lots of cash that comes from this part of the world, and I fully understand that in order for us to enjoy the sports that we love, they're going to be funded somehow. I just don't know how tricky that makes it. Speaking from a guy that got an offer to go to Saudi Arabia literally in his inbox earlier today to do a job, so we'll see how. I will see how.
What's your bank account, Stu?
No, do you know what? I don't know how I'm going to feel in 6 months' time. Let's put it that way. But we'll see. But yeah, it's a tricky one. But overall, do we think the F1 season? We've got a bit of a break now until Australia, which obviously means none of us are going to watch it because of the time difference. But do we think we're onto something for the 2022 F1 season?
I really hope so. I think Leclerc and Ferrari do have a genuine chance. Okay, here's one for you boys. When was the last time Ferrari won the championship?
Was it Raikkonen 2009?
Oh, you know what? I'll give you half a point for that. It was Raikkonen 2007. So
I thought Lewis won it 2007.
Years for a massive powerhouse like Ferrari. Okay, they've started well before 2017, 2018 with Vettel, but they've kind of fallen away to beat early contenders. There, I think they could actually do it. And Carlos Sainz as well. He's no slouch himself. Could put himself into a bit of position.
What's interesting though is the ability when they get in a quick car, they're all capable of being at the front. Look, take Magnussen for example. Put him in a decent car, and they'll be at the front. So what does that say about the last 8 seasons of Formula One?
Again, it does bring into exactly what you're saying about Lewis Hamilton. He's had the best car for long enough, so that's why he's been the champion. Now he's got an average car, and where did he finish? 10th of the weekend.
But he wasn't whining as much as he has done in the past. So I don't know. Maybe
he was. Maybe we just didn't get played it.
I tell you, who does like to whine is Verstappen. He likes to whine a little bit.
He sounds like a bit of a toddler, doesn't he? I mean, the less said about that, he is a bit of a diva. He is a bit of a diva. But the less, the less said about that, I think, the better. Because
let's talk about it more, Stu.
I'm just going to end up with some sort of F1 eggy pie all over my face, and that's not it's not the host's job. I'm here to poke fire,
Remain impartial.
Yeah, all right. I'm about BBC unbiased, impartial here. That's definitely me. But do tell us in the comments, what have you thought of the 2022 F1 season so far? Does this spell the end of Lewis Hamilton's career as we know it? Maybe we're just being overdramatic. Mercedes are, of course, a powerhouse, and they will undoubtedly get it right before the end of the season. Leclerc and Ferrari, is it his and theirs championships to lose, or will Carlos Sainz do the right thing and pose more of a threat? Surely it's only a matter of time before he gets his feet underneath of the table. We will go to the comments just very quickly. Brad, you got a couple of fans, mate. This is weird. So
here we are. Hello,
someone
Rob.
saying hi.
Louise, Danielle, how's it going? I've seen all your comments. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Have you not got anything else better to do? So that's Rob. He wants me to have blue wheels on my race car this year.
Right. So
I fancy the red ones.
So So we will come to your mini in a slightly.
Oh, come on! Can we talk about it now?
Can I just stop there? I didn't even know we had a comment section. Is this what happens when somebody actually good comes on? Gross.
I think so.
Wow.
So. I mean, to be fair, we've always had a comment section, but I hide you from it because we've got sensitive souls, and
because it's not actually heckling; it's engaging.
This is engaging. Yeah. Rob does say that F1 is okay. As long as one driver doesn't want it, and we don't know who that one driver is, but I'm sure he'll share with us in a moment. I'm interested to know. But do tell us about your thoughts, feelings, hopes, and dreams when it comes to.
When Rob says that, though, he might be saying that kind of he wants a lot of people to win it and everyone to just have a really nice time.
Yeah, which is it's family fun for everyone. Yeah. But F1 2022, we've barely just scratched the surface. There's a lot more to come. It's exciting stuff. I know it is.
And now, some more stuff from Is It Fast. Yay!
Wow. We moved. I know. Yeah, we've got all new graphics and all new sounds and sights since the last time you came. It's pretty. Wait till you see the one after that one, my friend. It's pretty aggressive stuff. Oh, dearie me. But of course, what do F1 and the car world have in common?
Four wheels and steering wheel.
4 wheels and a steering wheel. That's true.
That's why he's the pro.
This is why he's the pro. The other answer is Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo this week. Yeah, do you like that? Alfa Romeo this week announced that they have released 2 new chart-topping specifications for their Alfa Romeo Giulia and their Alfa Romeo Stelvio. The Stelvio, of course, the best car on the planet, which we know. Which is quite hard to sell. So if anyone's interested in a Stelvio, please do hit me up in the comments. Currently trying to sell one. The Giulia was also quite hard to sell. But Alfa Romeo have, hot on the heels of their renewed F1 challenge, released the range-topping Estrema specification. Estrema in Italian means extreme. So if you do purchase a brand new Alfa Romeo Giulia or Stelvio Estrema, you are going to get yourself a couple of nice upgrades. You get nice, big, shiny carbon alloy wheels, 19-inch alloys on the Giulia, 21 inches on the Stelvio. Don't worry, the ride is absolutely fine on 21-inch wheels on the Stelvio. Just don't curb them. The 2 of them get mechanical sealed locking limited slip differentials. What does that mean, Brad? Have you got a slip diff on your mini race car?
I've got a diff.
Yeah, nice. I don't know. Don't worry, I don't know what it means either. Active suspension, chassis domain control. The interior is obviously nice and plush. Carbon fiber for the door mirrors, the front grille, dark colours on the wheels, on the brake calipers as well. Alcantara on the seats, which means they will fade horribly. 14-speaker Carmen Carden sound system from Alfa Romeo, which I can confirm is good. 2 litres in the front of your car, 276 brake horsepower, 4-cylinder engine, or 2.2-litre 4-cylinder diesel, which I can also confirm is a pretty good pull. The 2 of these brand new models, the Estrema, they were unveiled at Alfa Romeo's Formula One team headquarters in Switzerland, which of course is really Sauber. So Alfa Romeo, they're having a resurgence potentially because of Formula One. But the Giulia and the Stelvio have now been around for a while. Obviously, the new Tonale has come out to fill a bit of a gap in the mid-size SUV segment. Is this going to make people go out and buy these two Alphas that frankly have sold in ridiculous numbers and only absolute lovers of the brand and automotive journalist experts purchase one or both of these cars?
I thought they had a V8 in them. Or am I thinking of a different Alfa?
I mean, Alphas have had a V8 in them.
There's one that came out recently that was like M3 type territory.
Yeah, so that was both of these quadrifolio
Right,
spec
I thought it was
with a 3.2 litre V6 in the front.
I think they're good-looking cars. I think they're good-looking cars. But I thought Alphas have been good-looking cars for quite a long time. I don't know if I'd have one. Not sure. I think I'd rather have something else, in my opinion.
What would you rather have? So okay. So you've got a Giulia, which is, if you don't know, and you're listening rather than you're watching, is a saloon sedan of the 3 Series spec world, kind of C-Class rival, and the Stelvio is an SUV. Think Porsche Macan size. So if you had to pick a Giulia type car, but not the Giulia, which one would you go for?
I'd have an M3.
Nice
and then
easy.
I'd take it down to a company and chip the life out of it.
Yeah. And just turn it into an absolute hooligan.
Monster.
And what SUV would you go for if you had to go for like a mid-size
probably a
SUV?
Macan, actually. Probably a Macan. I think that's a nice car. Yeah, Macan, I think. Mm-hmm. You're not trying to sell me yours, are you, Stu? Is that where this is going?
No, I don't have a Macan. Oh,
no,
right.
No. You've got an Alfa. Trying to sell me your Alfa.
You can have.
I mean, you love that car.
I do.
Right up your street.
I do. If you go back and watch the show from last week, though, Maserati have announced a new Grecale, and I'm in the middle of ordering one of those.
Oh, really? Wow.
To be fair, though, the other host on that show absolutely slagged that car and it's just been ignored.
Yeah.
Isn't there talk of Ferrari bringing out an SUV soon?
Yes.
There was something leaked in the press recently that I saw.
That'll be on a show in the next couple of weeks. But the Estrema, Stu, thoughts on the Estrema?
You know what, Brad? If only we had an Alfa fanboy in the segment to keep us right, I think it would be absolutely brilliant. At quick glance, it's kind of hard to tell which is the saloon and which is the SUV by the pictures on the screen right now. I get what you're saying, Brad, about the Alphas. They are relatively attractive, but it's the most inspiring body shape. It looks a bit like a half-chewed black wine gum at the start here. I'm just really not falling for it. I really do like the front grille, dark colors, brake calipers as well, look really well. The carbon fiber interior touches on the wing mirrors look awesome. Yes, the speakers will actually give you a Harman Kardon, which is awesome. But for me, the Alfa do kind of keep tinkering with their specs, things like that, but there's no sign of them doing any of the alternative powertrains. Yes, we've had the Tonale with the hybrid specs, but they're just getting a little bit late to the party. I'm not sure if Alfa are going to be able to make the transition to EV. Or am I?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Who is there? Anybody behind Alfa? Is there a bigger brand behind it?
Yeah, so Alfa Romeo are owned by the Stellantis group,
right?
Which is this mega group that own Fiat, Renault, Vauxhall, Opel.
I thought it was Generale, but maybe that's another thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that. I genuinely don't.
I probably actually said it wrong.
Yeah, no. General Motors were bought out by them. It was FCA. So yeah, they have got quite a large backing, and the new CEO did say that Alfa are not a brand that are going to die or disappear. Neither are Maserati. You kind of put those two brands, or I at least put those two brands in the same bracket, where both beautiful, both incredible legacy, both a bit rubbish. And I can say that because I've owned both a Giulia and now I currently own a Stelvio, and I'm only looking to move it on to get a Maserati. So I'm a glutton for punishment. And so it's Stu, you're slagging off you've had a lift in both of these, and you regularly get in the Stelvio, mate.
Yeah. It's better than walking. I'm not that picky.
Fair enough. There's some interesting.
Stu, we're going to Brands Hatch. Do you want to walk or do you want to lift? Tough call. Yeah.
It is a tough. Yeah, no, fair one. It is a tough call. Louise says in the comments she doesn't really like the cars. Fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, even when they're not right. Rob talking about a Dacia Jogger.
I read that as Jammy Dodger. I don't know what that is.
Oh man, I could kill for a Jammy Dodger.
I love Jammy Dodgers.
I know, right?
Are they a dunker? Probably not.
No.
Sorry, I've just seen Rob's second comment.
Me too. Rob has added, do you have breakdown cover? A hideous question. Of course I do. Also, my second car's a Volvo, so at least then I can always carry on. Which is
You'd be all right. You'd be all right when you have a crash.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's all about keeping everybody safe at the same time. But Alfa Romeo there, still absolutely chugging on, releasing new models after the Tonale, which is good to see. But does the fact that they've introduced a minor change really to their lineup make any difference to you as a consumer? Are you still going to do what Brad does, which is buy the BMW because you know what you get in, or the Porsche because you know what
you never said how much they are. How much are they?
It's irrelevant.
No, it's not. It's very relevant.
It is irrelevant. So the price, the price of these are depending how spec you get them between £40,000 and £50,000.
Yeah, I'll have it.
Yeah, it's quite expensive.
Does it have the second-hand price in there as well?
Right. Well, if you want some real, I do have to move on. But if you just want some real consumer advice, I bought my Alfa Romeo Giulia. I bought that. It was about, I think it was the 4th or 5th Giulia in the country. Okay. I won't tell you how much I can tell you the list price. I got a ridiculously good deal on it. I got about $7,000 off it. So you'll know how much I paid for it. So I got it for about $40,000. And 2 years later, I sold it for £17,000, and you can now buy one for £15,000 if you want. But the hot M3 spec version, I didn't get that because 2 reasons. One, I like to keep my petrol kind of where it is, and 2, couldn't afford it. And that was the main one. They're still going for about 30, 35, 40 grand.
What do they call their M division of cars?
Quadrifoglio.
Of course they do.
4-leaf clover.
Of course they do.
And just remember, everybody, if it wasn't for Alfa Romeo, there wouldn't be a Ferrari. So just remember that. It's quite important. Rob in the comments said £24.99 second hand. You're not far off, mate. So it's
savage.
It's savage, but truth hurts, mate. Truth hurts. And sometimes things on the internet are right, and this is one of those, unfortunately for me.
The question that all petrol heads love to ask: C'est rapide? Is it fast? Ist schnell?
Cool.
I told you. This show's
going to clear that up.
It goes up a level. Plus, we're international. So,
are you global?
Yeah,
we're global.
Is it fast global? We're big in Japan, especially you, Stu. You're 6'5".
Yeah.
So it's you're big everywhere you go. News this. You get it. It's funny, isn't it?
Lads, it's the back of 7. Come on.
News this week from Lotus. So Lotus, if you aren't aware, their parent group Geely have been busy, hard at work, pumping a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of investment into that most famous of Norfolk-based brands. And they mentioned over the last, I think it was last year, that they were going to start expanding their group, introducing things like SUVs, electric powertrains, all that type of thing. And last night, as this goes out live, 7 p.m. on a Wednesday, last night, they announced the first in those quite colossal steps as they move towards electrification, as they revealed the SUV, the Elettra. Elettra, which means coming to life in Hungarian, obviously Hungary and Norfolk twinned. We don't know a lot about it. If you're listening to this rather than watching this, it is an SUV that is the same size as a Lamborghini Urus.
I was just going to say it looks just like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's, and I think when we start to go through the specs, you'll understand why, because it's probably aimed at that marketplace. There are some things that are unconfirmed, some things that are skepticized, and some things that we do know. So we do know that it is around about the same size as a Lamborghini Urus. We know that it's going to be four-wheel drive. It's going to have a top speed of targeted 162 mile an hour and a sub 3 second time to get to the 62 mile an hour in a sprint. Every single Elettra, whatever, will have a battery capacity of more than 100 kilowatts, which means it'll have more than 592 brake horsepower. Maximum range is going to be set at 348 miles, apparently, with a full recharge in around about 18 minutes if you're using a 350 kilowatt charger. It looks quite impressive. There's a whole host of kit and stuff. The interior is absolutely savage, but it is the size, the make, the model, and definitely the torchbearer for making a dent in the Chinese and US marketplaces. They do say that they want to make an impact in the European and UK market as well, and targeting a starting price of under 100 grand. But let's be honest, while you're done tinkering with it, it's probably going to be slightly more than that. Stu, what did you think of this when you saw this?
You know what? Yes, I actually like it. I'm normally a bit negative when it comes to these types of things. Nice to see that we've moved on from the rendering. The front grille makes it look like a bit of an angry Roomba, but no, I do generally like it. It's got a lot to offer. Apparently, 0 to 62 in less than 3 seconds. This is all part of the massive kind of build and manufacturing that they're doing in the new plants out in China, a place called Wuhan. You might have heard of that before. It's been in the news a bit recently. So, yeah, it's something to get excited on. I like the interior on it. I think it's got a lot to offer.
Cool. Interesting. Brad? Did you see this? Did you watch the unveiling yesterday?
No. I got to be honest. Is that a car that's ever going to see the road? It looks like a concept to me.
No. The concept stage is over, I think.
This is real. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even realise Lotus was still making cars. I mean, that's how out of touch I am with Lotus. But
I mean, you're not the demographic.
I think it's. I don't so much like the back of the car. I think the front of the car is awesome. I think that's an aggro looking car. I like you say, Stu. I do like it as well. It's nice, cool. And it sounds like it's going to be blisteringly quick as well.
Yeah. I would say one thing though, and this isn't just a Lotus problem. All manufacturers right now don't seem to understand what the 3 letters SUV stand for. They seem to kind of get a little bit confused about the sports utility vehicle, not just sports car. The utility should be foremost in the driving and the dynamics of it. So anyone who wants like a light, fast car, just going to go for a sports car.
Yeah. But people keep buying them. People keep buying them, you know.
I mean, the SUV market's gone bonkers in the last 10 years, prices, and it's just gone mental. I
mean, they're okay. They're dynamic, more dynamic now than they've have been, but they're not fantastic. I hate this. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I have a love-hate relationship with Lotus as a brand anyway, and I don't know why. Sometimes I really like what they do, sometimes I really don't. I think it's impossible to deny their heritage and what they've created over the years and what they stand for. Both on the road and in motorsport, I think they're incredible. I know they've got to do this to survive, and a lot of people online, if you kind of dip your toe into Twitter, which is a dangerous game to play, but if selling this means they can carry on doing sporty things, great. Great. Okay, good. It's going to pay for the next round of road cars and all the rest of it. That's great. I don't like the look of it. I think they could have gotten real. When you look at what Lotus have been developing and designing and releasing recently, which has been great, I just don't think this is in keeping with whatever that design philosophy has been. I like the Emira and the Avaya that they released recently. I like those two cars. I just don't think this is very Lotus, and they could have done more. If you look at manufacturers that make SUVs when they don't traditionally, Alfa Romeo, Ferrari coming up, even Bentley, Rolls-Royce, unmistakably those brands, when you saw their SUVs for the first time, this just looks like this could be anyone. Absolutely anyone.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Lotus just trying to hang off the back of that. Like, you never thought Lamborghini would have bought an SUV out, ever.
Yes. Probably.
Perhaps.
Probably, actually.
No, very good point. No, I definitely get your point, Stu. It isn't a traditional Lotus. If you show somebody this, they're not immediately going to go, obviously ignoring the badges on the wheels in the front, they're not going to say, oh yeah, that's definitely a Lotus.
But is it a Lotus though? Is Is it based on is it a Lotus built chassis or is it based on another car?
No, it's all. I mean, I'm willing to be corrected, but it's designed in house, right?
Yeah, this is one of the three that the Chinese
Yeah.
built EVs that they're going to be releasing across the next 5 years. So
That's
yeah,
it.
it is all kind of in house.
It does look smart from the front. I will give it that. It does look good from the front.
Yeah, it does. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I just don't like it.
No.
Just deconstruct that. It makes no sense.
Can you get your deposit back on your Maserati? Do you know?
No, I don't think I can. Lucas says hi, by the way.
Hi, Lucas.
There you go. Yeah, not great, but if it's a sign for better things, then I'm all for it. Change waits for no man, which is just a harsh reality. But tell us in the comments, what do you think of the new Lotus SUV, all-electric platform SUV that is going to be, as you correctly say, Bradley, like shiny poop off a very warm shovel? It will go some, but maybe not for me personally. But there we have it. It's going to sell. It's going to sell. Let's be honest. It's going to sell. So what can we do about it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, now we've
That's the
cleared that one up,
attitude.
Stu.
I know. I just get a bit impassioned about it, and it's been a very long day.
So, what do you think of Lotuses from the old era when they're all tinny and low and uncomfortable?
What do I think of Loti of yesteryear?
Yeah, of 2001. You know,
I have always had a crush on the Esprit
yeah, okay.
because Bond, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, cracking wee car. I passed up the chance of getting a Lotus Esprit for about £7,000, and it was a really good one, and you just can't get them for less than like 25 grand now. So
That's everything, though, Stu. That's everything. Every car is old. It's
fuming. Yeah, that's true. Like the Esprit, don't mind the Elise.
Yeah.
Don't mind the Elise. I think the Elan just should be thrown in the sea. The Lotus 7, okay, cool, great, as was. Any of the Formula One cars they did were something to look at. Yeah, I don't mind them. I wouldn't bother with an Evora. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like if I bought one about a week later, I'd be like, "Oh, mate,
Yeah, it's broken.
what? Oh, that
I've
doesn't bother
pulled
me
the
so
steering wheel off the column. What have I done?"
much." Not a problem.
And the
for
man
me,
just
mate.
forgot to screw it up. That was all.
Yeah. Some geezer from Norfolk just didn't do his bloody job properly. But I think that's the other thing. It's not very sexy to say that your car is from Norfolk. No, if you're watching it from Norfolk, fair enough.
I think my race car's from Norfolk.
Is it?
I think that's where they're built.
Well,
I'm not having that.
Oh, come on, Stu. Let's see your dig away out of this one.
no, I stick by it, mate. I stick by it. It's almost irrelevant what colour wheels you put on your mini racing car this year.
Yeah,
if it's from
quite.
Norfolk, all you're doing is putting glitter on a poop. So it's all you can do. It's all you can do. Rob in the comments says the Elise and the Exige are cool. I agree with. Yes, do you know what? I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do actually agree with that. I think the Elise
But-
and the Exige are cool.
Yeah, he was going to
always a
sacrifice one of them there. Yeah.
No, I just. I don't know. Maybe you probably would get sick of them after a while, and not even that long, if I'm honest. I just kind of feel like if you're an accountant, you'd buy one. Maybe, I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with accountants; they just always make my life miserable.
Well, is that?
So-
is
What
that
about accountants from Norwich? Do you have an opinion on them? Or?
Ooh.
it's the kind of car you see with the roof down and someone wearing a crash helmet wearing on the motorway. You know what I mean?
yeah. You do see a lot of helmets in them, but it's just one of those, things. Anyway, I didn't swear. We're not going to get demonetized. So that's the important thing. Tell us in the comments. Big use of the word "we" there, Brad. Tell us in the comments, what do you think of Lotus as a brand? Do you think that the Electra, the Hungarian worded inspired,
Who makes the
EV
names up? Incredible.
I don't know. I mean, some of them are all right, aren't they? But this is not one of them. Tell us what do you think of the brand new Lotus EV? If you do get the chance to go back on social media and have a look at the launch of the new Lotus EV, Not really. It's weird. It's really weird. It's worth watching because it's a bit trippy. It's at the BBC Centre, and it was a bit trippy and a bit weird. And I did enjoy it. It was just a bit.
Is that not just car adverts in general though?
No, but it was just like, and now it's people dancing in black and white film, and here's Jensen Button, and here's the people off of Top Gear Gaming Show, and here's some more Lotuses from the past. Remember BBC Television Centre and New Lotus. Okay, cheers, bye. And that was basically it. And it was just like,
I'm going to have to watch that.
Honestly, watch it and fast forward, but still, it's quite an interesting watch. If I'm honest. Anyway, I'm completely digressing. So yes, tell in the comments, Lotus, yay or nay.
Tune into Is It Fast live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT. You are welcome.
We're keeping with the electric theme because it seems like every other minute an electric supercar is announced to the world. And this week is no different. This week, the Juice was released, which is Austrian electric hypercar. And I'm going to give everyone 30 seconds to talk about it because I don't see the point in wasting any of my hard-earned airtime on this particular contraption. So if you're interested in seeing it, make sure you head over to our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you can see a picture of this. But basically, we don't know what it really looks like, and it's going to be £100 million. Stu?
Yeah, apparently it's a featured design language and it's inspired by Symmetry and Infinity. It can be equipped with 2, 3, or 4 electric motors with battery support sizes up to 160 kilowatts. The teaser images are very striking, and if you squint really, really hard in the background, you can actually see them rebuilding Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader. It's kind of very dark, very red, and everything like that. Yeah, can't wait to see more, but you're right, it's going to be extremely expensive. You're never going to see one.
Yeah, I'm not even wasting airtime on it. If you want to see a picture of this, make sure you head over to Instagram, type "Is It Fast" into your search engine on Insta bar, whatever, and you'll find it. Brad, you've had a look at this.
Have I?
I don't know, have you?
No.
Good. Don't worry about it then. It's rubbish, mate.
It's not really £100 million. You're being facetious, aren't you?
I am being facetious. Yeah, we it's going to be very expensive, and it's going to be unveiled at the New York car show, 13th of April. So whatever.
People need a way to spend money. That's it, isn't it? Simple as that.
People need a way to spend money. I mean, do you know what? That's we've never had that as a comment on here, but you're bloody right. People just, that's all this is. People just need a way to spend their hard-earned money. But it's rubbish.
Give it to me and I'll go racing.
No, you won't. Not in that, you won't. Honestly, I bet it's rubbish. Anyway, if you want to see a picture of it, make sure you head over to either our Facebook, type in "Is It Fast," Instagram, type in "Is It Fast," YouTube, type in "Is It Fast?" You won't see a picture there, but you can go on there anyway and see what beautiful stuff we've got. And before we move on to the next segment, I can remind you, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube live or after the fact, make sure you do subscribe, hit the little bell, and make sure you miss nothing like this. But also all the interesting motorsport and automotive programming that we do originally, all from our own brain boxes, covering all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Make sure you follow us on your social media platform of choice, be that Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and some other bits and bobs to keep up with all the latest news from the world of Is It Fast. We have a team of incredibly talented writers that keep everybody up to date to the latest minute of what is going on. They're exceptional. They're a great read, perfect for the toilet, train, or other such commutable spaces. Oh, that was good.
Tune into Is It Fast live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT. You are welcome.
You cut me right off there, Stu.
Yeah, welcome to the show. It's normally other Stu that gets that. It would be very remiss of me, seeing as we do have you on the show this evening, Bradley Gravett, not to ask you a few questions about your up-and-coming racing season. So if you don't know, this is your second season in the Mini Challenge JCW category, the License Loser category. You're back for another stab. How are you feeling about it, man?
Yeah, it was. It's a very tricky championship to be involved in. So I've been involved in mini challenge for this will be the third year. So first year was in the Cooper, which is the slower car. Second year was in the JCW, the same as this year. And yeah, I think I spent a lot of time last year learning the car, learning the championship, learning the dynamic of a champion, such an elite championship as well. Because it's another level of what goes on. It's top. It's one down from British touring cars, so it's right up there in terms of its hierarchy of racing, and it's very close. It's one make series. So yeah, we spent a lot of time last year learning. There's been some changes happened over the winter. Goodyear have made us a nice new tyre, which is much more sticky and more compliant, which is fantastic. So yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting year. Had the tyre test a couple of weeks ago, was quick off the bat. So yeah, it's looking very promising.
And that was your first. So the tyre test was at Silverstone, and that was your first tour of Silverstone, wasn't it?
First time I'd been there. I've done hours and hours and hours and hours on the sim round Silverstone, but first time I've been around the national circuit. So it was the weirdest thing, actually, having never driven a circuit, but having driven it on the simulator, because I actually went out the pits and genuinely thought I was in my front room. It was the weirdest experience. It was absolutely bizarre. So yeah, it was good. It's quick, and it's weird to drive on a circuit that I've spent so much time at throughout my childhood. My dad took me there for years and years and years, and also be on a circuit where the Formula One goes to, because that's my first time. Well, recent Formula One, of course, because they've obviously been at Donington and Brands Hatch over the years. But to be a current Formula One circuit it's quite special, actually, quite special.
So feeling good about it. Obviously, lots of learning last year in the
the cars are tricky little things. They're very snappy, short wheelbase, very fast, lots of power. The differences with this kind of car, this kind of championship, is that the car is not delicate, but you've got to be calculated with what you're doing. You can't just be overconfident with the car. You've got to know what you're doing. It's got to get your angles right in the corner. You've got to get everything right, and then you might go quickly. Or you might still be 4/10 off, and that last 4/10 is the longest and most expensive 4/10 you'll ever find.
I can imagine. It's pretty branded, though, isn't it? I mean, it will look slightly different this year, won't it?
It will look slightly different. Yeah, we're going to keep the same theme because it's just so effective. A big thing. So I designed the livery on the car. I took a bit of inspiration from some other liquid moly cars that I've seen over the past, but fundamentally, I did the design on Photoshop one Saturday afternoon. And I was quite. I think a lot of cars, a lot of livery designers, they look very good up close and in up close pictures. But actually, the crucial thing is that it works on telly, and that livery works on telly. You can just see it. You know where that car is because you can see the blue and red stripes. Simple as that.
True. You had a couple of good shout-outs last year on the old ETV, didn't you?
I had a few, yeah.
Which was good.
I did have to grease up Richard John Neal before that to get that, but it worked. You know what they say. So, yeah, no, it's very exciting. I'm looking forward. It starts in 4 weeks, so we're going to try and get a testing prior to that. But, yeah, it starts in Donington. I think it's is it the 24th of April, the first round of the touring cars? It's that one, so... It's going to be busy. It's going to be intense. It's obviously going to be different with the new hybrid touring cars as well. So that's going to be interesting. No doubt we're going to see a lot of cars parked up.
Well, this is very excited. That TOCA package this year is looking pretty open. So
yes.
Yeah, that's going to be good. It's going to be good. The Mini itself.
Yes.
Big question, mate. Blue wheels, red wheels. What's the deal?
Oh.
So this is a dilemma that I've been having on social media now for like the last 2 weeks, right? So Rob, the chap in the comments, wants me to have blue wheels, and he's adamant, and he keeps commenting on everything saying I want blue wheels. But I think the car looks wicked with red, to be honest with you. I'm not really that bothered. I think that's a nice way of changing the livery, red or blue, or both, different colours.
I'd go both. Yeah,
both. What,
could
blue
do both.
and
That would be
red.
pretty cool. Actually, I hadn't even thought of that. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know.
I mean,
blue's fine.
Take it from me, right? Sometimes you think mixing colours is a good idea. When I was 17 years old and I thought it was hip and trendy, and Dunlop trainers were back in fashion with...
Oh, jeez.
Do you remember these? With Velcro straps? And you could buy them in all sorts of different colours. I used to run around with 2 different colour Dunlop trainers
well, that was
on.
because you couldn't tie laces, wasn't it, Stu?
You're focusing on the wrong part of that story. It's not about the Velcro.
Yes, Stu, that's why your shoes didn't match. You keep telling yourself that.
My mum says I'm special and you can't do anything about it. Jeremy in the comments says that whichever colour wheels make you faster.
The lightest ones.
Oh, wait, no, there's an exclamation mark. Whichever colour wheels make you faster. So yes, very, very important. But do tell us in the comments if you're watching or listening and you're not a fan of Bradley, then you don't care. But if you are, what colour wheels should
Here's a
you
question, Stu.
No.
And this is a question I was asked. Are there more wheels or doors in the world?
Oh,
Oh, there's got to be more wheels,
thinker.
right?
Yeah, but there's doors everywhere. Think about it.
yeah.
Oh, you mean like generic doors?
Doors, like doors. 4 doors on a car, 5 doors on a car, bonnet, 6 doors on a car,
Right. Front doors, back doors,
front
side
doors. Wheels, though.
Shed.
Wheels in the stereo. Think about it.
Yeah, but wheelbarrow wheels.
Yeah. Well, Stu, you came up with a great one. You sent me something, a right mind bender the other day, wasn't it? About keys.
Oh yeah. Your
Big fan of
keys will.
Big fan
Yeah.
of keys.
Yeah, your keys will have travelled further than your car.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah,
mind
it
is,
bender.
to be fair.
That is
a-
well.
That's
But before we move on, Brad, I've got to ask because obviously you go touring all over the country with your racing.
Yes.
It's absolutely fantastic. You must have an amazing collection of hotel towels and mini shampoo bottles.
yeah,
like-
the shampoo bottles is a joke, honestly.
Oh,
It is unbelievable. Mini soaps as well. Unbelievable.
yeah. What's
Yeah.
your prime recommendation for nabbing these goodies from hotels? Which is your go-to?
Which hotel to what? To
Yeah,
borrow the soap from?
Yeah.
None of them.
Oh,
They never lather up. They're no good.
That's the soundbite, by the way, right there. They never lather
Bring
up.
your own. Bring your own to the party. Yeah.
You get a bigger budget, mate. You can stay in slightly better hotels, son.
But I want
That's
to say one of those like quadruple million slide out trucks that people have up, down, left, right. One of them ones. But unfortunately,
Oh
we
yeah,
can't.
yeah. Well, you
that would
don't-
be awesome.
they're not great for the environment anyway.
No.
You don't need to worry about that. James in the comments just says that Gola strikers were the real deal. Just to know what our demographic are. Yeah, do you know
I want to
what?
chuck in Puma Sambas as well.
I've got to be
understand
honest.
it.
I've absolutely no idea what that means.
You've got a great night ahead of you on the internet.
Oh,
Happy days.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Puma Sanders, they're another good one. They were great as well. Right, good. You could take a free kick and it would
Go
really
anywhere.
go. You are,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'll be for us, yeah. But yeah, no, wonderful to hear about your upcoming season, mate. It's great to see what you're part of, and you know, last year was you were fantastic, and this year you're starting to find your
I'll
feet.
be mega.
You'll be mega. You'll be
Yeah.
mega, mate. Exactly. It's and I think it's probably the most exciting racing you can watch on a Sunday.
The minis or the touring cars or both?
No, just the minis, mate. You're not in the touring cars at the minute, so let's not worry about that.
No,
But-
they are. Yeah, there tend to be quite a lot of safety cars in the mini challenge.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
But
there's a reason to that though. We get one aired race a weekend, and people like to be heroes. So you tend to find that you get one or two people that do send it off into the gravel. So
yes, well, yeah. Let's just hope this time nobody ends up on the roof. Or
there were some quite savage accidents last year. In fact, thankfully
were some
everybody walked away, but a car
Yes.
nearly landed upside down on my windscreen, which was quite
yes,
interesting to watch.
yeah, exactly. And a whole new race suit for you. 'Cause
Absolutely.
what a brown trouser moment that was. Terrible. But yes, if you're not a fan of Bradley Gravett already, then you bloody well should be. Make sure that you head over to Bradley's social media pages to follow his journey throughout this season. He is very, very active, and I'm told that you give away something every week. Is that right?
Free stuff, yeah, absolutely, yeah, free stuff, lots of it.
Maybe, yeah, no, but absolutely get behind Brad and the team. Get behind his teammate as well. Get behind Max Coates, who's also a lovely chap and has been on the show before. And follow their progress throughout the season. Podium or bust, my friend. Podium or
Simple as that.
It is quite simple, but mainly because I don't have to do anything about it. I'm just going to carry your successes like they are my own. And if you fail, don't I have ever spoken
Not
to
your
you?
problem.
Not my problem. Exactly right. No, genuinely, mate. Thanks for sharing your
appreciate it.
your
Thanks, Stu.
story. And yeah, we look forward to see how you get on across the season.
Me
We're
too.
about to talk about watches on Is It Fast?
Every single week. TikTok is the show brought to you by the team at Is It Fast, where we take a little stroll down wristwatch lane and see what has been going on in the world. And if, frankly, you don't know what we're about to talk about today, you have been living under a watch-related rock because it's been a pretty crazy week. This week, was it this week? Last week?
Well, it was probably last Thursday, last
Was it
Friday.
last Thursday. Last Thursday, Swatch did something mad, didn't they, Stu?
Yes, they really did. They decided to partner up with Omega to create 11 watches to represent the stars and moon and planets in our solar system. So they basically, it looks like the Speedster watches, and they released them all. You could only get them in store. So on Saturday morning, I sent my people up to the Swatch shop on Princess Street in Edinburgh. And you're looking at me. Yes, I've got people. Do you not have people? Yeah. Brad, you've got people.
No, I've got me.
Well, I sent my people. So basically, sent my mum and dad up. It was nice.
There they are.
The
There they are.
Yeah, there they are. I think that's possibly London.
It's Carnaby Street. Yeah,
it
sorry.
is. Yeah, and they said to me, "Do not worry, we'll be up there for opening." The queues started apparently at 6 o'clock on Friday night for a 9:30 Saturday opening. For over 6,000 people queuing in Edinburgh alone for 200 watches. So you can just imagine people camping outside with their sleeping bags and their Teds for company. One guy actually come up from Liverpool to try and get one.
Madness.
Everything was all very well organised and sussed out in Edinburgh as opposed to some of the scenes that we saw in some of the London stores. But yeah, bit of a funny announcement from Swatch. It was a bit under the radar for something that they maybe underestimated how popular it was going to be.
Very
Stu,
funny.
what did you think? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a funny announcement, really. I mean, the fact is, they're going for what, 200 quid? 206 quid?
£207 for this. Yeah.
For essentially a Speedmaster and everything but construction. Yeah, they just out of nowhere, didn't they? You can only get it in store. Away you go. People were, as you say, queuing up, fighting, going mad for it, and then appearing on eBay for $3,000 for a watch that someone paid £200 for. But
yes, there are some absolutely wild colours on it. We're looking at the Sun one right now. There's also a light kind of baby blue on it. There's also a light pink. Yes, it is plastic. It is battery powered. But at a mere £4,000 plus discount, I don't think many of the owners are going to grumble too much at that compared to a traditional Mega Speedster.
No. We're on the hype train, aren't we?
Very much
Big time on the hype train. Well, the Swatch Group owns Amiga, doesn't it? That's why it's happened.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why it's happened. It's a PR stunt. Clearly, it's a PR stunt because why would you put an Amiga badge on a watch and give it away for £206?
It depends who you read and what you believe, right?
Yeah.
I can't read.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's either a really good idea or it's been a really bad idea, and I can't make my mind up. But either way, between Stu and myself, we do check the website between us probably 5 times an hour. What we won't do is travel all the way to a store and just hang around for one. But what we will do is the minute they become available online, we'll order one.
So is that going to be the plan then? Do we know that? Do we know that they're going to become available?
Yeah. They had to release statements, didn't they, over the weekend, Stu?
Yes, absolute madness. People that worked in the store said, yeah, we knew it was going to be popular, but they genuinely had no idea. They were putting signs up in the windows to say all sold out. Even waiting hours later for a stock of 200 in the Edinburgh store, there were still thousands of people queuing. These watches had long gone. I think it's probably the British mentality of, it is a queue, I will join it. What am I missing out on? Here I am. Before we move on, I do have to say a massive thank you to my mum and dad for trying to go up into the town to get me one. It wasn't to be, but they put in a lot of effort. But since it was Mother's Day on the Sunday, I wanted to get her a really nice present as a thank you for doing it. So I got her a pop-up tent to make sure she doesn't miss any of these kind of launches in the future.
Yeah, that'll do it. But yes, the Swatch with Amiga Moon Swatch. Tell us what you think of this. Is it just a slap in the face? Is it a Will Smith in the face of The Rock, which is the speedster? Or is it? I haven't mentioned it for at least 40 minutes, so I might as well do it again. Or is this a great thing? Is this basically showing that watches shouldn't be more than what they are, which is valued to their owner as a collector? It's
still
a very
rather
interesting.
Still rather a Monogato, though, Stu.
He's got it in there. Still, a Monogato. A story for another. I must say, big fan of Monogato.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I've got one. I've got one somewhere. They are incredible. I'll tell you which one I've got. DS de Cheetah. The DS de Cheetah
Nice.
from a long time ago. Yeah.
That's got a hint of blue on it, hasn't it? From memory, is that right?
I don't know. It's in the box over there somewhere. I'll have to have a little look. I don't think it does. I don't wear it very often because I'm quite scared. And also, we don't get paid by them. So, no, I do love them. I think they're great. But the Amiga Swatch, Moon Swatch, tell us what you think. Are you interested in getting one? Did you queue up and wait for one? Were you one of those people? If you were, no judgment here. But do tell us what you think.
Tune into Is It Fast live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT. You are welcome.
Oh, we're getting to that point of the evening where we're getting ridiculously close to the end of our show, and we've made it 55 minutes without being cancelled, which is, of course, another record. But we don't ever like to leave the audience without something to ponder over, think about, nay, discuss with your friends, family, partners, friends, as you go away from here. And this week is no different. So things work differently all over the world. People spend money on things that they probably shouldn't spend money on. But you do get to a point where if you travel all the way to, I don't know, say Mexico, which is Mexico, you can hire a plane if you want. If you want to, you can hire this plane. And there's people can hire planes all over the world, right? You can get a plane for whatever. You can get a plane for a party, a fiesta, a wedding ceremony. But this plane's slightly different. Why is this plane different, Stu?
Because it actually belongs to the Mexican government. Yes, this is the former presidential plane of Mexico. You can hire this for your fiestas, parties, which is probably quite good. You didn't want kids messing up your own house, so you might as well mess up a plane. They actually did try to sell this 2 years ago for $130 million, and they tried to sell it to Canada. Rather unsuccessfully, but it does make it probably the biggest and best neighborhood yard sale of all time. This sale was unsuccessful, so the Boeing was given the Mexican wave on that sale, so now they're going to be renting it out to parties. This is awesome. You've got to imagine the cartel are going to be wanting to rent this for deliveries.
I don't know. $200 million they paid for it, and now they're trying to get something like $150 million back, right?
Yeah, something like that.
How much does one rent it for?
They're very vague on that. Sadly, are you keen, Brad?
No.
Is this going to be your party at the end of the season when you won the championship?
I don't know. So who owns? Is it privately owned now? Then for leasing?
No. It's still owned by
the
Mexican
government.
Yeah,
That's odd.
Yeah, very, very odd.
See the pictures of it though. I'm not sure about the luxury of it. It looks a little bit shabby, or maybe I've just been misled by years of seeing kind of like terrorist-based films and TV dramas.
Are there any snakes on it? That's what you
read. Snakes, yeah. There's Harrison Ford there to kind of help fight off terrorists. I don't know.
And get his family back. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I would love to obviously see Is It Fast on the side of a plane. And especially because all the racetracks are just former airports and airfields anyway. It would make a lot of sense.
Photoshop it. You guys are wizards on Photoshop.
I mean, we could do, but at some stage, it'll all catch up with us, let's be honest. And
thanks for giving away our Instagram lifestyle, Brad. Appreciate that.
Yeah. We're just all living in like a shed. Yeah. But yes, this is the news that the Mexican James in the comments say it looks like a gentleman's club from 20 years ago. I don't know when the
How
last time
do you know that, James?
And just for the record, James, it's what gentlemen's clubs look like right now, mate. But yes, we finished this week in the news that if you want to hire the official Mexican presidential jet for your, I don't know, wedding reception, bar mitzvah, you name it, you can have it. Unless you want to buy it, in which case you can buy it for the region of $150 million. Was that the number?
130 was offered to Canada, but I don't know if that's a bit of a mates rates.
Right, yeah. Mexican Canada mates?
So how's the president flying around now? Has he got a new one?
So if you're interested in the political angle of this, the current Mexican president, López Obrador, is a left-wing president. He is an austerity advocate, and he doesn't agree with the fact that the Mexican people were charged for what he sees as a allegedly former corrupt government. Gee, I got there in the end without the lawsuit. And basically the people of Mexico shouldn't carry the cost for such a large and crazy thing. Of course, you wouldn't find a government here doing something like that.
Of course not.
Getting a big jet and painting it whatever colour they want. But good thing my tax money.
They struggled with a double-decker bus, are you kidding me?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I think one thing from the story is it's clear that there's no Russian billionaires floating around right now wanting to buy a plane.
Yeah, that's true. There's no one there spending that kind of silly money. Well, apparently James does say in the comments for 150 million you can own and run the Haas F1 team, which is a fair point.
Rather do that. Yeah.
But there we go. If you're in the market for that, then please call 0800 Mexico.
Yeah.
Is that it? Anyway, it is with that rip-roaring Mexican pinata of a bit of news that we do have to bring our show to an end. Thank you very much, as always, for watching, for listening. If you're watching before or after the fact, listening before or after the fact, make sure that you do tell us how you feel about what we've covered in today's show. Make sure that if you're not already, follow us on your social media platform of choice to make sure that you keep up with not just the live show that goes out every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. GMT, but also all the other lovely documentaries, programming, motorsport highlights, automotive reviews, and of course the written content that goes out on isitfast.co.uk to make sure that you get your fill of all the things that you love in life, as long as those things are to do with what I've just spoken about. Thank you very much to Brad Gravett, who has decided to come back on the show after quite a long time.
After what happened last time, yeah.
After what happened last time. And if you want to know what happened last time, www.4chat. No, it's still on YouTube. But thank you very much, mate. Well,
it's a pleasure as always.
Well,
thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back on. We do appreciate it. Best of luck for the season ahead. Not that you need it. It's going to be absolutely cracking. And of course, thank you very much to the contractually obliged other Stu for showing up when we contractually oblige you to. So thank you
very much, Brad. Great to have you on the show, mate. All the best for the season. And and finally, remember, Fitbits are just modern day Tamagotchis, except the stupid animal you're trying to keep alive and healthy as yourself.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.